Short-term and long-term fasting both offer intriguing benefits for metabolism and cardiovascular health, but the mechanisms, intensity, and sustainability of their effects differ considerably. Short-term fasting, typically defined as daily or alternate-day fasting periods lasting 12 to 24 hours, is designed to create manageable windows of energy restriction without drastically altering lifestyle. Extended intermittent fasting or prolonged fasting protocols, which may involve 24 to 72 hours of abstaining from food or very low-calorie intake over consecutive days or weeks, invoke deeper metabolic adaptations, but require greater planning and monitoring. Understanding the distinction between these approaches highlights how fasting can be tailored to enhance metabolic function, cardiovascular health, and long-term wellness. Short-term fasting works primarily through modest caloric restriction and circadian alignment. When fasting for 12 to 16 hours daily, such as in time-restricted eating patterns, the body experiences lowered insulin levels, enhanced fat oxidation, and mild increases in norepinephrine, which stimulates energy expenditure. Glucose levels stabilize, postprandial insulin spikes are reduced, and the liver begins mobilizing stored glycogen for energy. Over weeks and months, short-term fasting can improve fasting glucose and insulin sensitivity, support modest weight loss, and help reduce visceral fat. Cardiovascular markers also respond positively, with studies reporting reductions in blood pressure, triglycerides, and LDL cholesterol, although these improvements are often linked to overall calorie reduction and healthier eating during feeding windows. Because short-term fasting is easier to integrate into daily life, it promotes sustainable metabolic benefits and helps establish consistent routines that reinforce circadian rhythm alignment, making it ideal for long-term adherence. Long-term or extended intermittent fasting produces more pronounced metabolic and cellular effects, but also requires careful management. Fasting periods beyond 24 hours trigger deeper shifts in energy metabolism, including enhanced ketone production, accelerated fat oxidation, and more significant depletion of glycogen stores. These extended fasts amplify autophagy, the process by which damaged cellular components are recycled, improving mitochondrial efficiency, reducing oxidative stress, and supporting tissue repair. Cardiovascular benefits may also be more substantial in the long term, as prolonged fasting can lead to marked reductions in inflammation, improved lipid profiles, and lower blood pressure. Some studies even suggest potential protective effects against atherosclerosis and age-related metabolic decline. However, prolonged fasting is more challenging to sustain, carries risks of nutrient deficiencies if repeated too frequently, and may not be suitable for everyone, particularly individuals with underlying health conditions. Comparing short-term and long-term fasting reveals complementary strengths. Short-term fasting excels in improving daily metabolic efficiency, stabilizing blood sugar, and supporting weight management through manageable, consistent routines. Its benefits are easier to maintain over months and integrate into professional and social life. Long-term fasting, while less practical for daily application, can provide deeper cellular repair and cardiovascular improvements, accelerate fat loss, and enhance metabolic flexibility, but it requires greater discipline and careful monitoring to ensure safety and nutritional adequacy. Both fasting strategies interact with circadian rhythms to optimize metabolic outcomes. Consuming food during daylight hours enhances insulin sensitivity and thermogenesis, while fasting periods that coincide with nighttime or early morning support natural hormone cycles, including cortisol and melatonin regulation. Aligning fasting windows with circadian patterns enhances the body's ability to process nutrients efficiently, mobilize stored energy, and maintain stable blood glucose, demonstrating that timing and duration work together to maximize benefits. Nutrition during feeding periods is equally important for both short-term and long-term fasting. Meals rich in protein, fiber, complex carbohydrates, and healthy fats stabilize blood sugar, support satiety, and preserve lean muscle mass. In long-term fasting, nutrient density during refeeding is critical to replenish energy stores and prevent deficiencies, while short-term fasting benefits from balanced meals that sustain energy and facilitate adherence. In summary, short-term fasting provides practical, sustainable improvements in metabolism and cardiovascular health through moderate caloric restriction, enhanced fat utilization, and circadian alignment, making it highly suitable for everyday life. Long-term or extended fasting delivers more profound metabolic, cellular, and cardiovascular effects, including autophagy, ketone production, and systemic anti-inflammatory benefits, but requires careful planning and supervision. Both approaches highlight the interplay between energy restriction, meal timing, and circadian rhythms, demonstrating that fasting is a flexible, science-backed strategy that can be tailored to individual goals, lifestyles, and health conditions to support metabolic efficiency, cardiovascular wellness, and long-term vitality.